As we go through this financial information system that was a voluntary system that was created by a work group of financial officers back around 2004, I think was when the project started. The primary purpose of this tool is to allow for benchmarking and trend analysis of the financial information at the community college level. The basis for this tool is the college's annual financial report, and by statute and rider, the community college is assigned the responsibility for establishing the reporting guidelines for community colleges. The comptroller does the universities and TSTCs and Lamar's, but the community colleges, since they're not under the supervision of the Texas comptroller, the coordinating board was given the responsibility for establishing reporting guidelines for the annual financial report. And one of the things that the benefit of having a central reporting guidelines established is that this gives us the ability to use the financial information that is in the annual reports from the community colleges to do comparisons between institutions, so that if you want to benchmark your college to another group of colleges in the state, this gives you a tool for doing that. It also digitizes your annual financial report so that it makes it easier for the schools to do trend analysis with their financial information. Prior to the start of 2011, this tool was only available to the institutional's chief financial officers. We actually had a password access to this, and but we had several requests from legislative staff and staff outside of the chief financial officers that wanted information about community college finances. So the decision was made to put this on the coordinating board website. It still requires a password to enter information and to edit information, and each institution has a representative on your campus that is tasked with entering this information each year. And basically we allow sometime in the end of this month, we will open it up for the 2012 information to be entered by the colleges, and also to edit any of the prior years, because what happens sometimes is that you will have prior years that get restated by your auditor and for changes in accounting policy or whatever. And so they need to update prior years so that the trend analysis is accurate. On the website, there is down in the bottom, there is a section of reports and ratios and user guide that is available to the public, and we'll go through a few of those options down there. The first option is just a profile report that is just some basic information about the institutions, their operating revenue, their operating expenses, non-operating and extraordinary items, and net assets. And you can pick, as you see on the screen, anywhere from 2003 up to the current, which the current right now is just 2010. But you can pick any of those years or multiple years to do a trend analysis. And on the left side, you also see a list of the institutions, and you can pick, by holding a control key down, you can pick multiple institutions and create your own subgroup to do benchmarking. You may not be able to see this on the screen, it's small print, but this is a profile of Alamo Community College District over 2008 through 2010. And it comes out, the output is selective, so you can pick a HTML output, which goes to the screen. You can get it in Excel spreadsheet format or a PDF. Same report, but this time I've added Austin Community College because to compare two institutions, you get the same information. It just comes out in columns, however many institutions you pick. Then we have some ratios that are available, the predetermined values on the ratios, and in the user guide there is a description of the ratios and what data is in each ratio, and tells you what financial statement it came from, whether it came from the what we call the balance sheet or the income statement, and so on the ratios, you've got a lot of FTE ratios where we've taken the fall full-time student equivalent count for the institution and calculated things such as the tuition and fees, the academic support, instruction, how much state appropriations per FTE the school is getting, and also how much your tax revenue and tax assessment per full-time equivalent. So those are all on the FTE ratio side. And then on the other ratios, you can look at comparing two variables, such as the amount of assets to liabilities or instructional expenses to your total operating expenses. So you can see how if that trend's been changing, or how do you compare to other institutions on that ratio. Just like on the profile, you can use the ratio report and pull in multiple years and multiple institutions on the same report. We have on the ratio side, we have some ratios that are primary and then other. And if you see at the top, there's some primary ratios that are pretty much used. They're used quite a bit in the financial industries to compare the viability of your institution. This last year was the first time that we were required by Ryder to develop a financial condition report on the community colleges, and some of the ratios that were in that report also came from this information that's in CARAT. Just like the other information, you can do comparisons of ratios across multiple institutions and also multiple years.